If you think all men fantasize about is sex, you're only seeing half the picture, because deep down, there's a whole world of secret desires that go way beyond the bedroom. Today, we're exposing 6 things men crave, silently but intensely. Some of these will shock you. One of them might even change how you see men forever. Hey ladies, welcome back to Brainy Facts, where we decode the hearts and minds of men so you can build stronger, smarter, and more satisfying relationships. Today's topic is raw, revealing, and real. Because while society tells us men are all about physical desire, the truth runs much deeper. Stay with me till the end. Because number 6 is something 90% of men will never admit, not even to their closest friends. 1. Being chosen over everyone. A man may not say it out loud, but one of his most powerful fantasies is being chosen, not by default, not by circumstance, but with certainty. He wants to be the one you look at when you could look at anyone. The one you pick, not because he's available, but because he's irreplaceable in your eyes. This kind of validation doesn't come from compliments or casual affection. It comes from your presence, your gaze, your energy in a room full of options. Picture this: you both walk into a party. There are attractive men everywhere, some taller, richer, smoother. But your eyes, they're locked on him. That moment right there speaks louder than any words. To him it screams, "I see you, I want you, you are my first choice." And here's the twist. Being chosen doesn't mean he's insecure. It means he's human. Men are constantly competing in business, in friendships, in life. So when a woman sees past all the noise and selects him above all others, it's like oxygen to his soul. It tells him, you're not just enough, you're more than enough. And that fantasy isn't just about ego, it's about connection. It's about knowing that someone values you deeply, even when there are other choices on the table. So if you really want to touch a man's heart in a way that lingers, show him through your actions, your loyalty, and your attention that he's not just your option, he's your decision. Every single time. Do a drama-free, peaceful life. It might not sound sexy, but to a man, peace is pure heaven. In a world that constantly demands him to be strong, solve problems, and suppress emotions, what he truly fantasizes about is coming home to calm, not conflict. He doesn't want to fight about things that could be solved with a gentle tone. He doesn't want to explain every word he says like he's on trial. He dreams of a woman who brings stillness, not storms, who knows the power of silence, of softness, of letting little things go. And here's the secret: peace is his version of intimacy. Sure, passion matters, but when a man finds a woman whose presence lowers his heart rate instead of raising his blood pressure, that woman becomes his safe place, his peace, his fantasy. This doesn't mean being passive or ignoring your own needs. It means learning how to communicate with love instead of combat, choosing connection over correction, being his partner, not his opponent. Because when a man finds peace in your presence, he doesn't run from it, he clings to it, he protects it, he builds around it. And in that peace, he flourishes, emotionally, mentally, and yes, physically too. So if you're wondering what makes a man stay, it's not just curves or chemistry. It's that feeling of emotional home, that beautiful, drama-free, soul-soothing peace that he can't find anywhere else. 3. Achieving silent greatness. Not every man wants the spotlight. In fact, most men fantasize about something far quieter, but even more powerful: silent greatness. He dreams of building something meaningful, whether it's his business, his character, his legacy, without having to shout it from the rooftops. He doesn't need constant applause. What he wants is to know he's winning, even if the world isn't watching. Silent greatness is about doing the hard work when no one's clapping, grinding in the dark, pushing through doubt, and succeeding, not for fame, but for fulfillment. And what he really fantasizes about? A woman who notices. A woman who sees the small victories, the late nights, the quiet sacrifices, and celebrates them not with a parade, but with presence, with pride in her eyes, with whispered words like, "I see you, and I'm proud." Because men don't always say it, but being recognized without being required to boast means everything. He doesn't want to brag. He wants to be understood. He wants to know that his silent battles matter, that his steady strength is enough, that he's being seen even when he's not performing. So if you really want to connect with a man's inner world, notice the things he doesn't ask for credit for. Acknowledge the things he does without fanfare, because quiet recognition is one of the deepest ways you can speak to a man's soul. 4. Loyalty that doesn't waver. In a world full of what ifs and maybes, every man fantasizes about one thing: a woman whose loyalty is unshakable. He might be surrounded by attention, he might even have options, but none of it compares to the fantasy of having just one person who stands by him when life is messy, when he's not perfect, when he's not winning. Someone who doesn't flinch when things get hard. Someone who doesn't leave when he's down, doubting, or distant. See, men are taught to be stoic, strong, unbreakable, but the truth, life breaks them too. They just hide it better. And when they're broken, what they crave more than sex is loyalty. Loyalty that says, I'm not going anywhere. Loyalty that whispers, I've got your back, even when the world turns its back. This kind of loyalty doesn't shout. It doesn't demand attention. It's in the little things. The patience during his silence, the encouragement during his struggle, the way you still look at him with belief in your eyes, even when he's doubting himself. When a man finds that kind of loyalty, he holds on, he builds with it, he thrives in it. Because in a world full of temporary people, a loyal woman is his fantasy, his refuge, his forever. 5. Total freedom within a relationship. Most people think men are afraid of commitment, but the truth, what men are really afraid of is losing themselves inside it. Because deep down, every man fantasizes about a love that doesn't cage him, but fuels him. He dreams of a relationship where he doesn't have to shrink to fit, where he's free to pursue his passions, his purpose, his calling, without guilt or resistance. He wants a partner, not a prison guard, someone who doesn't clip his wings but sharpens his vision, someone who understands that a man becomes more loving when he's allowed to stay aligned with who he is. Freedom, to him, isn't about doing whatever he wants. It's about being respected as an individual within the relationship. The freedom to breathe, to grow, to make decisions without fear of being punished. He doesn't want to feel micromanaged, monitored, or emotionally manipulated. He wants to be trusted, and when he is, he rises to the occasion. Here's the paradox. The more freedom a man feels within a relationship, the more deeply he connects to it. Because love that feels like a cage will push him away. But love that feels like air, that's the kind of love he'll fight for, build with, stay loyal to. So, if you want to keep a man close, don't hold him tight, hold him right. Show him that your love isn't a leash, it's a launching pad. 6. Leaving a legacy that matters. When the noise fades and the lights go out, every man has one burning thought. Will any of this matter when I'm gone? Because more than sex, more than status, men fantasize about legacy. He wants to leave something behind, something that outlives him. A name that means something, a life that changed something, a memory that lingers, not because he shouted, but because he served. Whether it's the way he raised his kids, the impact he made in his community, or the way he loved his partner, he wants to be remembered, not just for what he did, but for who he was. This legacy isn't always built in grand gestures. Sometimes it's in how he comforts you when you're falling apart, how he shows up day after day, even when it's hard, how he handles failure, how he lifts others up, how he stays true when no one's watching. Men don't just want to be desired, they want to be respected, and nothing earns that more than a legacy that speaks long after he's gone. So if you see your man building something, support it. If you hear him talk about the future, listen with your heart, because while passion fades with time, legacy echoes forever. Thanks for watching.